think you're going to survive what's coming? The coming changes? Do you think there's any changes coming? This is Thunder Hands in the Campfire Council, and I want to talk about complacency. Because I'm seeing way, way too much complacency out there. And that has to do with what I've talked about before about being dumbed down, not realizing, in a rut, going along with business as usual, thinking that everything's okay, thinking that everything is going to stay the same when Taoist philosophy says it's change is if there's anything that you can count on, it's change. And I think we all know that. But I'm sitting here getting feedback or judging by the feedback that I get how many people out there are awake or how many people out there are listening. Will you survive the changes that are coming down? And they are coming down. In fact, they're already here. They're already in motion. And all you got to do is look around. Now, if you've been on the planet a while, you just look around and see what's changed. You stop for a minute, and get out of your rut, get out of your mentality that you're in. This hypnotic, dumbed down, and I call them sleepers in my book Emergence. I mean, wake up. And I'm going to keep being direct about this. That people need to wake up and they need to realize that there are changes coming. They're already happening. You just look around and then there's a million things happening that are changing right before your very eyes that indicate that, hey, this isn't good. And you don't need to listen to me talk about them to realize that they're out there. Just go on the internet, YouTube, and start searching and do some research about all different areas of life: financial, geological, geographical, war, the trends, okay? The trends, that's what you have to look at, the trends, okay? You look at the past, you look at history to see how, trends develop and what kind of trends indicate serious trouble, the falls of civilization, that type of thing. And when you get these trends down in your mind and then you look around, okay, and then you couple that with prophecy from Hopi people, Hopi tribes, all tribes, the Bible, all of them. Do you think the planet's getting any better? Are you really believing the spin masters out there that have got you duped? I mean, this is direct. Okay? Do you believe the spin masters out there that have you duped into thinking that everything is okay? Just keep on like normal, you know. Play with your iPods, sit on the couch, watch your survival movies, watch your sports programs, drink your beer, go to work. Make sure you go to work, pay your taxes, live the American dream. Buy that car, buy that house, buy that whatever. You know? That's what they want you to do. Complacency in the form of self-entertainment, self-gratification, just being in that mindset. Now I come on here and, I get kind of, sometimes I get a little, just like, gotta scratch my head and try to figure out where people are coming from, because there's a way to survive what's coming and the coming changes, okay? But nobody really wants to talk about that, but I'm talking about it. And it's through spiritual practices and community, getting out of the cities, because the cities are going down. And I'll do a video just on that, how horrific that will be when that happens. A whole video. I think I've done videos on it. But when I talk about this idea that I have about how people can get out of the cities, this campfire council thing that I keep harping on, because that's the name of my mindset, my show, my whatever, is to be a campfire council, whether you do it yourself or you do it in conjunction with my thing that I have going here. But you got to do it. I mean, it's period, end of story. You got to get out of the cities. You got to get some land outside the city. You got to team up with other people, and if you can't afford the land, team up with other people and pool your resources. Don't just sit around thinking that, I think people just, they get into this concept, well, I'm going to go to heaven anyway, or if I die, or if things get bad, or that's hilarious, really. How can people live like that? Always looking down the future at some savior or saving, person, savior person, or some political person or some leader or something. Yeah, it's all going to get better. Yeah, when we get him in, everything's going to change, right? And everything's all going to get better, and we're going to live comfortable, and we're going to have peace of mind. Not, don't believe it for a minute. There are no real leaders anymore. They all left with Sitting Bull and Geronimo and Crazy Horse, and those were the last of the Mohicans, so to speak. Now this complacency thing is like, it's really starting to get to me, because it's like, okay, I'm out here, I'm talking. I don't really have an agenda other than the fact that I want to promote self-awareness and consciousness and a better world and a tribal mentality and a natural mentality and nature mentality. And I've done, and a spiritual mentality. Well, everything's spiritual, but thinking about spirituality, thinking about how you can improve yourself on a spiritual level, not just a physical level, not how much money can I get, or can I get that new car, or can I get that new house? How am I going to send my kids to college so that they can get a degree that they'll never use because there's not enough jobs around? And they're going to be in debt for years and years and years and years to the student loan people. I mean, it's such a rut. People, wake up. Smell the coffee. Look at the signs. I don't know. What's my purpose in saying this? Well, wanting to see people, including myself, live a better life. Peace of mind. Okay? And I keep talking about sitting by that campfire, sitting by that campfire and just chilling out and being with other people and listen to the fire crackling and all bundled up in a nice warm Navajo blanket and talking to one another, passing the peace pipe. And then maybe later on we'll go to the sweat lodge and do a sweat, okay? Or maybe we'll go on up to the main house on the property and we'll get some massage therapy, or we'll get somebody to treat us with acupressure, or we'll get some counseling from some elders, or we'll, think about it. Maybe I'll interact with some other people, and there'll be some new people coming in tomorrow from outside that are waking up. And oh, are we self-sufficient? Yeah, we're self-sufficient. We got this land, right? Got some generators, we got some wind machines, we got some solar panels, and we might have a trailer over here and a prefab house over there and a yurt, which is a round like teepee, and a teepee. Have you seen how nice teepees can be inside? Ever? Have you ever seen that? Clean water, no TV. It's not allowed. Sorry. Because see, that's a programming tool to program your mind into, you know, this dumbed down, zombified. The zombie apocalypse is already here and everybody is it. Excuse me. So think about what I just said about, living in a community like that as opposed to living in a city where you're like rushing around, get in the car, brush your teeth, get up in the morning, shave, look at your clock, ding, wake up in the morning, alarm clock, jump in the car, get on the freeway, go to work, have your boss harass you all day, worry about all your bills and kids and whatever, come home on the same freeway, get in the house, shut the door, can of beer, couch, boop, pick on the TV, stick on the TV, and chill. Yeah, no, you don't really chill. You fall asleep because you're so damn tired. Okay? Is that enjoying life? Is that breathing fresh air and relaxing and talking to people and checking out nature, being in nature, letting nature permeate your being? Nature's healing. It de-stresses you, man. And yet all these people want to go on, and you see there's so many people they talk a good talk. Yeah, that's what we got to do, man. Got to get out there and get in the wilderness and get away from all this stuff. We need to detox ourselves, de-stress, man, renew. That's it, man. We're going to do this. Oh, really? When? And I know people that talk like this and they think they mean it, but obviously they don't because there's no action. See, there's no action. You have to follow thought with action, right? You have to put out some kind of effort. You can't just sit around, clicking on the boob tube, or the boob tube 2, which is the computer, or boob tube 3, which is your iPod, or boob tube 4, which is your cell phone, or boob tube 5, which is the newspaper. that ain't gonna get it. That ain't gonna cut it. Not if you want to be tribal. Not if you want to get out while the getting's good. Not if you want to get the hell out of Dodge and get out to the country. Going back to the country. Going back to where it all began. Going back to our saving grace. You want to talk about saving grace? It's nature. Sometimes I feel like I'm wasting my breath with you people out there. But I know there's good people. I know that, I got to keep on keeping on with this. And I don't know why. It's just because Spirit tells me to. But I want to see more feedback, okay? Because I'm putting energy out and I want to get more feedback. I want to get some emails. I want to get some people that are interested in this. I want to get this thing going. And all these, like I said, all these people talk a good talk. I mean, like you go on YouTube and like you see the comments on there and yeah, this is it and this is the revolution and we got to do this and we got to take our country back and we got to blah 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 blah. And they talk about, oh, the financial system and, oh, this political system and Obama and the Republicans and the yada, 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 yada. Who cares about that false house of cards that's going to just come tumbling down? Okay, but when it does, life is going to change. I mean, let's just imagine for a minute, okay? I like to use illustrations and I like to use pictures and I like to use, stories. Let's just imagine you're sitting there in front of your computer and you're on Facebook and you're having a good time and all this stuff. And all of a sudden it just goes, whoosh, it's off. Black. Nothing. Lights go off. Refrigerator goes off. Oops. Wait a minute, what's going on? Oh, it must be a power outage. Must be a blackout. Well, imagine that happening on a little bit slower level, not like a blackout, but like over a period of, let's say, a week or 3, 4 days. Some event happens, and there's all kinds of things that could happen that people don't even know about. Like the sun, even natural things, the sun flares coming down. We've been having a series of X-class flares from the sun that could burn up the whole electrical grid. So say the physicists, not me. Check it out. And if the whole electrical grid goes, then whoosh, there goes your computer and your refrigerator and your smart meter in your house that they're monitoring you with. Now the first thing you do is go, I gotta go to the store. Whoops, what store? By the time you get there, there's 100 other people that have already robbed, pillaged, looted, broken all the windows. Because when word gets out, that we're back to basics somehow, or let's just say the food supply gets cut off, or even just one water, just one thing. Don't you want to be outside the city somewhere when this happens? I think so, yeah. You don't certainly want to be in the city. Why? Because there's gangs everywhere. And if there's not enough gangs, there will be more gangs. There will be ordinary citizens that all of a sudden turn into gangs to survive. Instead of already have thought this stuff out ahead of time and gotten out of the cities, And you go, well, man, I don't live in the city. I just live on the outskirts of the city, or I have this land up in Palo Alto or wherever. Oh, really? You think that's going to like stop all the hordes? They're going to be searching around for everything they can get their hands on once. Now, if you're way out in the country and you got a community and you got protection, okay, and you're self-sufficient and you got your own food, will they come out there wanting to take it away from you? Well, it depends on how much resistance they meet, and it depends on how much spirit is on your side, because spiritual protection is there if you ask for it. The spirits of our ancestors and the ancient of ancients, yes, that's there to help us, but we got to help ourselves. We got to give ourselves a fighting chance, right? So if you're, let's say um, you get some land and you get out there, you're going to have protection too. I mean, there's no doubt about it. You can't shy away from that aspect of it. The physical protection, whatever. But when that happens, the people that are looting and pillaging, they're going to go to the places of least resistance. They're not going to mess with people that got their act together, because it won't be worth it. They'll just go on somewhere else. You have to strategize. You have to think. Okay. Now, shine this on if you want to. Okay. Shine it on. Don't think about it. You can do that too. It's up to you. Thunder's just out here giving information. That's all I'm doing. And yes, I am. My agenda is pristine nature and getting out in it, right? And getting my message out to my fellow man about how to cope, okay? And I have 2 books out: Listen to the Wind, Speak from the Heart, and Emergence. And I'll put some flashes up as maybe this video's closing or whatever. Or I've got it boiled down now to just one website, Campfire Council, and I'll put that link down there. I have 3 other websites, but I got it boiled down now to where if you want to find out about the Campfire Council, just click on the link below that says Campfire Council, and it'll take you there like that. And it's simple. You got your posts, which are these shows in the middle, and then over to the right of the page you have all the resources, starting with the donation button and the email, how to get a hold of me, and all the different websites going on down the line that I have. My resources: Apache Tracker, Spirit of Crazy Horse, where my books are, all this stuff. But these are just resources, okay? This is not like a hard sell thing. And do I ask for donations? Yes, I do. But when you make a donation, I want you to contact me, or I'll get your email anyway through the PayPal thing, and then we'll hook up and I'll add you to the list of people that I put on my newsletter. And there's a form on there where my newsletter is, and we can start working together. And what I want to hear is, hey, you know what? I'm so and so, and I live in the Four Corners area of Arizona, and I have, a couple acres out here that I think your idea is a good idea, and or I have an RV that I'd like to donate, or I'd like to get involved in your group and join your group and bring my RV and bring this and that, and let's work together and let's do this because I realize what you're saying is pretty right on. So, people, get motivated, get motivated. And if you don't, well, that's okay too. I'm still going to do this. But I feel sorry for you then. I really do. And I feel sorry for everybody that's going to have to go through the changes that are coming about, the earth changes and the political changes and the changes in the whole landscape. Because if you haven't seen it changing already with the weather and the financial breakdown and the unrest in all the countries around the world, if you don't see the freight train coming down the track with its light on and the whistle blowing, I guess you're walking the other way with a set of headphones with an iPod plugged in. That's all I can say. You're walking that way and the train's coming behind you and it's over, you know? And I want to put this out there because, like I go on these things, some of these YouTube things, and I can repost this video, and I see all this, you know, jive stuff out there. Some of it's jive, some of it's kind of half jive, some of them is. I like watching some of it. I think that some of these people have good intentions, but they have an agenda most of the time, like selling gold bullion and, promoting the real estate market or just their own agenda they're selling. And, like I said, my agenda's straight out. I'm telling you what it is. It's freedom, okay, for me and everybody else. And the only way you're going to get that is to work together, to pool your resources, because most people are not rich, okay? And most people are living from paycheck to paycheck. And basically, it's a struggle. It's hand to mouth. It's, you know, on the verge, on the edge, the razor's edge. But there's ways to get out of that, and at least there's a way you can hook up with other people that want to get out of it. I'm already getting letters. I got a few. But hey, if that's an indication of how many people are like sleepwalking and how many aren't, it's sad. So that's why it's even more important that I get out there and talk and do these shows. So help me out with the donations. Go to the link below. And if you can't donate, it's okay. Donate yourself. Donate some your time. Donate your ideas. Donate your. I'm just trying to get into this thing of giving and receiving with each other. Okay, money is just a word. Okay, it's just an energy. That's all it is. Even the real money isn't real anymore. So you use the system, you get land, you form a community, you might even have to form a 501c, you can become tax exempt, nonprofit, form a church, whatever. To get outside, as far outside the controlled, paradigm the control system, the Wizard of Oz, I call it. And I have newsletters too, so please go to that. If you think that this video is something that is worth passing around to your friends, and because this, this whole series that I've been doing, I've been talking about a lot of spiritual things, a lot of spiritual exercise. All my videos are a mixture of truth, sugar-coated truth, because people can't take the real deal, and uh, what's coming down the road, and spiritual practices, and how to cope, and this and that. Okay, so right now I've told you about the website and everything. I'm not going to dwell on it any longer. People, please pay attention and pass this around and like it if it's on Facebook or YouTube, and send me some comments, whatever, get in touch with me. Okay, so right now I'm going to put up, as I go out here, I'm going to put up a couple of little shots of my book, my two books, and you can just check it out for a few seconds, and I'll go on to the next one, and then we're out of here. But I'll say peace unto you now, and listen to the wind.